More than that.
Hi, I'm Pele, and this is my presentation of learning. So the theme that I decided to pursue was Voltron, Legendary Defender, and so this is basically the overall story of it. Okay, so for over 1 million years, the Galar Empire has destroyed and enslaved other civilizations throughout the universe. So their only threat is an ancient warrior called Voltron, and it's composed of 5 lions piloted by the Paladins. To prevent Zarkon from getting the lions, King Alfor sent them to separate locations, waiting for the next generation of Paladins to appear. These are the... Okay, so Zarkon's search for Voltron has led him to the Earth's solar system, and a group of space pilots, Lance, Hunk, Hitch, Keith, and Shiro, are forced into the fight against Zarkon after finding the Blue Lion. They become Paladins of Voltron and hope to destroy the Galar Empire. Like the Paladins, I am fighting my own Zarkon, and throughout this semester I've faced many challenges, and so this is my journey. So the first challenge the Paladins face is that they have trouble forming Voltron. They tried different methods attempting to get closer with each other, but it seemed each method failed, until they got into a food fight, and then they formed Voltron with the help of one of their allies, Princess Aurora. While on my journey through this semester, I was able to communicate effectively using multiple mediums: spoken, written, artistic, and digital. Unfortunately, this didn't come easy, as while working with my partner on the Tinkercad Memorial project, we were constantly arguing with each other, and we were finally able to meet a point where we were able to agree and this showed through our design, which we used the online program Tinkercad. We got to see our project come into life, and there was a problem with our 3D model once it printed because it was really tiny. We had to get Ms. Yashiguchi to make it twice as big. And another point in the project that helped us with this was when we presented our posters. It helped us communicate better, and when we presented in front of the whole class, they were able to point out mistakes that we made and how we can improve them. The class also helped us when we were presenting to our parents and prepared us better for harsh feedback, and also if people wanted to ask us difficult questions. Another challenge the Paladins faced was a Robeast. The Robeast was a beast sent by Zarkon. He was trying to get Voltron without actually going himself. He thought by sending this Robeast that he would get Voltron into his hands. Fortunately, the Paladins were able to defeat the Robeast with the help of Shiro, who is the leader of the Paladins. He was able to assess his actions and apply them to defeating the Robeast from when he faced a similar person in the thing. Like Shiro, I was able to self-assess and monitor my own progress in understanding and communicate the quality of my learning through the Cold War dossier project. In this project, we had to research a specific issue, which we chose was the Berlin Wall and airlift. We had to create different genres of pieces, and I chose to do an art piece. I was supposed to make it a 2D art piece, but I ended up on a canvas, but I ended up making it digitally because I didn't have enough time. We had to self-assess ourselves and use our research to answer our essential questions, and when we were presenting this to the class, we were able to use our research effectively and communicate each of these things. I'm glad we were able to do this because it helped us. So the next thing that they did was, instead of fighting a Robeast or facing another challenge, they had to connect with the people who lived on the planet that they were staying in, their Erusians, who thought they angered the Lion Goddess, or in this case, Voltron. Paladins were able to tell them the truth and had a party where they connected and celebrated and joined a part of the Voltron Alliance. The Paladins connected with the Erusians. It's like when we had our field trip to the Loi, where we learned to nurture, sustain, steward the environment, and the community which we live in. We learned, while on this field trip, we walked around learning about how the environment and how everything that we do outside of this place affects how it ruins the Lo'i. And we also learned how the ancient Hawaiians used it. And we also learned how they didn't take more than they needed. This also relates to another part when we came back from the field trip, which was testing hydroponic systems. So the first time we grew our lettuce, we were able to keep track of when we need to add water or nutrients. Unfortunately, the second time we tried to do this, we lost track and the lettuce died. So this is an example of how we failed to nurture and sustain. So throughout this, we learned better and were able to apply this. Next challenge, while this party was occurring, the Erusian village was under attack and the paladins had to help. When they got to the village, it was actually a fake out, and Zarkun's troop took over the castle where the lions were, and Zarkun's troop were taking it to him. Luckily, Pidge, one of the paladins, was able to take over the castle again with help of Alora and her mice. They took the castle back by using one of Zarkon's devices to do this. So, by using creativity and imagination to problem solve, this was in our pencil box project. We had to create like a box where she wanted it. And because she was an art teacher, she wanted separate components for where she wanted charcoal erasers and also where she wanted to put her pencils. And this was kind of difficult for us because the heights that we had them at were different, and it was really difficult for us to figure out how she wanted it. And we also had to come up with our own ideas of like how exactly to put creativity, like coloring it and putting a design that she liked. Sometime later, the paladins are facing against Zarkon, but not because they wanted to, but because they were lured into battle and forced to attack them. They had to figure out a way to get out of there, and Alora made a wormhole to escape, but Zarkon found them again and again. Alora creates a wormhole for the last time, but something goes wrong, and all of the paladins are separated. Luckily, Pidge was able to create a beacon that connected Alora's ship, and they were able to reunite again. This is similar to our hydroponic system project, where we had to learn to embrace appropriate risks and opportunities to solve novel problems. Like Pidge, our entire group had to come up with an idea how to access water inside of the bucket. With the help of Mr. Kaneko and Ms. Nishiguchi, we were able to find a solution. We cut the wooden cover and drilled nails at the bottom and the inside so it would stay still. And then we had a little part of it where, as you can see there, that it could stay in. And then Mr. Kaneko helped us by giving us a handle so that you just take it off. So the paladins now prepare to fight, now know what to do if they ever verse Darkon again. I also too have better ideas of what I need to improve on and how I can solve these problems. Thank you.
Questions for Pele?
Yeah.
Is that a show that you like?
Yes.
Is it a show?
Yeah. It's a show on
It's on Netflix.
It has 4 seasons.
Voltron is like super old.
It does definitely.
Ultron.
It got rebooted in 2016.
Ultron.
Yeah.
Ultron.
Any questions for her?
Negatory.
So how did
What is your
so how did
what
they
skill-
escape? How did they escape the wormhole again?
Wait, you just cut him.
Gee, thanks for interrupting.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's cool.
What skill do you think you need to work on the most moving forward?
I think the skill that I needed to work on the most was like communicating my ideas and showing like the quality of my work, because I have difficulties when I do that.
Okay.
Any other questions? Leon, do you want me to answer that?
Yeah. How did they escape the wormhole?
So this actually isn't figured out until